Question of the day is, do I have that dog in me? So, I already know the answer obviously, but every once in a while I just gotta remind myself. In today's video, we're gonna be taking the engine out of this Malibu Response LX, pulling it out, swapping long blocks, and then reassembling and putting it together. And by the end of today, this engine's gonna be running and we're gonna be ready to redeliver it. So if you guys haven't been keeping up, I already have 2 videos out on this. And essentially it's getting to the point that we're at now, which is we have a block with a crack in it. We need to replace it. And I'm here to show you guys in this video. It's not the worst thing in the world. Maybe you're watching this video because you yourself have a Response or an older Malibu or something with a 5.7 in it. And you just want to know what the mechanic's doing. This video is going to be for you. If you're looking for I will show everything that I'm doing or talk about what I'm doing to get the old engine out and like what you need to take apart. But if you're looking for torque specs, I'll link a video here. It's a in-depth video on reassembling one of these with torque specs. And if you follow along with that series, I go in depth on everything that needs to be removed and replaced. But this is going to be an updated video and I will still talk through everything that I'm doing in this boat. But for example, if you didn't watch the other videos, we already have the manifolds off, we already have the intake manifold off, and this is our starting point because we needed to get to there to diagnose it. If you look in here, we have a little bit of milky oil in this intake. So I'm gonna get set up on the tripod, and for the first section of the video, I'm gonna get the doghouse taken out, I'm gonna get everything disconnected so we're ready to pull the engine, and I think for each section, I'll stop, talk through what I did, what I disconnected, and after that, we'll really get in the depths of what it takes to pull an engine. I'm excited. We just did the gantry build. If you guys haven't seen that video, check that one out. And I'm excited to test out the gantry. A little nervous, but I trust my welds. But yeah, we're gonna use the gantry for the first time in this shop, get this engine pulled out, and we're getting everything swapped. So enough monkeying around. Let me get you guys on the tripod. Let's get this engine out. All right, so we're all disconnected. Motor mounts, power feed cable going to the starter, ground cable going to this ground stud down here. All of the rear tranny mount bolts, which are bolts that go through the stringer. You have to go through that little access panel with the vent over it to get to the nuts on the backside. Coupler bolts, the 2 main harness plugs, just 2 of them. Tranny mount on this side, the fuel feed and fuel return hoses off the bottom of the pump, other motor mount, main water feed. Alrighty, so let's take a little break for a second That took a decent amount of time getting it out. Gantry worked out perfectly, actually. I was able to roll it, get the engine out, didn't have to move the boat out from under it. But we got the engine out. So to even get it on the stand, there are a few things that I had to take out, one of which being transmission. To get the transmission off, the tranny cooler, rather than disconnecting the lines, I just took the whole thing off so we don't leak any fluid out of there. Flywheel and flex plate, which I have. These bolts are all for this, but I've already got these bagged up and labeled so I don't forget where they go. Those need to go back in. But here we are. So normally at this point we still have manifolds on, so for the exhaust and the intake, but we already have those out. So we're a little bit ahead of the game. When I usually do this, I'll usually start at the front end, get all the accessories and everything off, go around the sides. In the process of getting these out, I disconnect the wires so then I can take the whole harness out, which it's pretty much almost out already. And I just kind of work around motor mounts, the whole front end and everything. This motor mount starter, which I guess you could leave attached to the wiring harness. It just makes things a little more difficult. And then the lifting brackets and everything, I usually will leave these on so then I can get it transported. So far, my engine was supposed to be delivered Friday, and essentially they called me saying that their forklift took a shit. So I didn't get the engine Friday, but it's supposed to be coming today, which if I can get this thing stripped, then they can take the core with them right away. And then as soon as I get the new engine, I can hang it, put it back together. So this shouldn't take too long. I am gonna time lapse this as well. Like I said, those in-depth videos, I'll have them linked in the description as well. But those I actually go through every single step, so they're longer videos. But this will just be an overview, so I'll get you guys on the time lapse and we'll start tearing this thing apart. Just to recap for you guys, if you can see this, there's a massive crack, there's a massive crack. Diagnosing this, it took a little longer because we went through and all the cylinders were okay. They had no issues with them. There was no water getting in, but there was a bunch of water in the oil. And the reasoning for that was because those cracks were just going straight into the valley. So they weren't going in the cylinders. The thing still ran, but all the water was just going down into the oil pan. So make sure to check out those other videos as well. Stay up to date with all my projects. Alrighty, so we have the engine stripped. There's just two things left, but we're gonna need them to hold up the engine. I drained out probably like 10 gallons of oil water mixture out of the block. Had to disconnect it everywhere to get all of it out. So now I'm pretty much waiting. I just wrote up a estimate that took like half an hour. It's 1:47 right now. I called. The engine's supposed to be here at 3:45 p.m., which kind of sucks. But I think I'll still be able to get it all finished up tonight. And yeah, I got all the torque specs and everything that I need. So as soon as the guy shows up, I'm ready to swap the two over and put her back together, which is very exciting. So for now, I got to write up some estimates, get a bunch of parts on order. I actually have a really big order to put in. But yeah, I'm pretty much just waiting until he shows up. I think I'm going to clean up the intake manifold that I'm reusing because that's got some water in it. So yeah, it kind of sucks that the timeline shifted a little bit into wasting the entire day, but I mean, I quoted for more than a full day, so should be okay. So I'll talk to you guys once we get the engine, and then we'll start putting this thing back together. Remember yesterday when I said that I had this dog in me and it was going to be done in one day? We're just going to pretend like it's the same day. So it is the next day. Realistically, this thing would have been done if it didn't take an extra 3 hours to get it delivered. I literally had to sit and wait for it for that long, so I definitely would have had it in. But yesterday, we got everything reassembled on it. So it's missing the manifolds, but I'm gonna leave those out while I put them in and just put them in the boat. We have all the electronics ran, everything's plugged in. Just need the cap to go on with the spark plugs and all that, but we're gonna be changing that. Fuel pumps mounted, trannies in, all that's good. So this is ready to be dropped in. So we're gonna hit it hard this morning. Yeah, I don't think we're missing anything else. We just have to reconnect whatever we disconnected in the boat, which is light work. And so now before I do this, I'm gonna get this all set up so that when I put it in the boat, it's sitting at the right angle so we can drop it straight on the mounts. But I'm pretty much gonna get after it. We need to get this finished this morning because we have quite a few more jobs to go to for the rest of the day. So if I can get this in, the one thing I'm gonna have to do is go grab an oil filter because I forgot to do that. Get this in, grab an oil filter, fill it up with oil, we'll run it. And then after that, we can start doing our break-in. So we'll start running it here, just verify timings in the realm. It needs to be done on the lake. And then start the rest of the break-in procedure, which isn't a whole lot because they run these at the warehouse, wherever they make them. So yeah, enough jibber jabber. I'm gonna get that boat pulled forward. We'll get this engine hung, dropped in the boat, slap it back together, and hopefully we'll get it on the water today.
De ti.
Alrighty, so all in all, not too bad. That took about 2 hours to get the engine in the boat, get everything reassembled. Spent a lot of time messing with the exhaust tubes in the back, getting those guys in. Got a little frustrated with that, but we got them. So everything's kind of hooked up now. All we have left is to put the spark plugs in, hook it up to water, and I do need to put oil in it. So right now, I'm gonna leave, grab an oil filter, and I think another gallon of oil. And when I get back, we'll put the oil in, put the filter on, put the plugs in, just do the finishing work. And then we'll pull it outside, hook it up to water, and get this baby running. All right, fellas, let's get it done. What I am going to do, you see me? This is a donkey dick, garden hose fitting, 1.25 inches to go on the main water feed to the impeller housing. Could use a fake lake. I think these are a lot more reliable. So we'll get this hooked up and get the water ready for when she fires. Keyed her up, heard it suck fuel, check for fuel leaks. Looking good so far. Got a little bit of water in there, good oil. Set up the timing light first. Low voltage on the battery, that's okay. 11.5 should crank. What do we think this one's for? So before I do anything with timing, if it goes, I'm gonna check for leaks. Make sure everything's out of the way. Let's give her a rip. A little low on battery. All right, let's hook up the jump pack. I do believe our timing is off. So I had a little mishap. We were doing the old finger on the spark plug hole when we set the distributor in, and I think we got it on an exhaust stroke and just felt air coming out, thought it was compression. So I pulled the plug out, reset it to top dead center of cylinder 1 on the compression stroke, and then reset the distributor. And now we're gonna give it a go. It felt a lot better, it looked a lot better, so we'll see if this works. So I'm gonna fire it. If it starts, I'm just gonna verify no leaks and oil pressure. If we have that, I will go into setting the timing. So let's see what she does. So we're idling around 700 RPM. Timing is probably 1 degree off. So it backfired on that first startup. I adjusted the cap to adjust for timing to where it was originally. There was a paint mark on it, and it sounds much, much better. We have done it, men. So I apologize for the time lapses being a little bit spotty. I'm dealing with, 2 batteries, one charging, one being used, and then just a hell of a lot of footage. I think I did 63 gigabytes yesterday, probably a similar amount today, but we got the boat outside. I have the bilge draining. I cleaned that up a little bit. So we're gonna have a clean bilge. It's hooked up to the truck already. I just need to pretty much clean myself up. We're gonna head to the lake. I need to pack all my tools and everything. Holy shit. Because we're gonna be running after this delivery straight on other jobs. The rest of the break-in I need to do on the lake. It needs to be done under load. I've done pretty much what I can here. We ran it for about 20 minutes, made sure it shifted, revved it up a little bit. So everything looks really, really good. It should, it's a brand new engine. And I have a lot of cleanup to do here in the shop. But right now I'm gonna get cleaned up, kind of pack up my stuff, and we're gonna head out and pretty much do the break-in on the lake. We're on the lake in the water, and we're not taking on any water, just sitting here. Let's fire the old girl up. Still hooked up to the trailer, just in case. Beauty. Fired right up. We'll let it run for a little bit, kind of warm up. Should still be warm from before. Just quick make sure we shift fine. Yeah. So I'm gonna let this idle, get unhooked, and still not taking on any water. Oil pressure is sitting right around 60 pounds at idle, which is very good. Coolant temp's about 140 because we're still warm from before. All right, sorry about that. I had to take that one. We are off the trailer. This engine is under its own power. Very shallow, so we'll kind of idle out of here a little bit. No water in the bilge. The tranny is a little noisy. All right, so we're moving real shallow, so I'm gonna go slow. For the first section of this, I'm gonna be between like idle and 1200 RPMs, just kind of going back and forth. and we'll do a couple laps around the lake, and we'll do some higher RPM stuff after that. Why is this thing randomly turning off on me? 2,900, around 30 miles an hour. Very quiet. This baby scoots. Very nice. Very nice. Stayed running. I don't think that could have gone better. You guys could probably even hear me. All right, so now I'm gonna deal with getting this thing back in the garage, and we're gonna be good.